Okay, welcome. So, discomfort. Who's been there? I'm there all the time. So, discomfort often just makes us feel uncomfortable. It's either that anxiety or a little bit of, something happening in our stomach or maybe in our mind. There's self-doubt, but it's stopping us. It's stopping us from pursuing the things that we want. And most often, it's the things that are going to make a difference in our life, the things that we're passionate about, but for whatever reason, we're not pursuing them. So we're in that holding pattern. And I posted earlier today, there was this video. It was put out by a film company who was overlooking a massive flood that's happening. Right now the weather is, heating up, and there's lots of snow and ice in the mountains. And that is coming down as flooding in a lot of our regions. And it is, hi Vera, hi Bill, thanks for joining me. And it's devastating a lot of our areas. But anyway, I was watching this film crew, and they were filming this destruction of big trees coming down. Houses were filled up to over the windows. There were cars floating by. There were great big tanks, which I think maybe were filled with fuel. And then there was a puppy, a beautiful little golden lab puppy, and he was swimming for his life in this torrent that they were filming, and all of a sudden the puppy comes into view, and they realize that this puppy is going to drown. And this cameraman, whose name is Don, he decides to put down his camera and wade out into the water, which is cresting about his hips. And as he's walking out into this unknown thing, like trees are going past him, debris are going past, a car goes past, and yet he's wanting to save the life of this puppy. No matter how uncomfortable and how dangerous in this particular circumstance was, he was pushing beyond that in order to do something that was important to him. So I say that because, often there's a river raging inside of us that's making us uncomfortable. And so what we don't do is we don't step into the water and save the puppy, which is us. So we're stopping ourselves from saving ourselves because of this raging storm within us. But I ask you now, is the loss worth overcoming the discomfort? And in most cases, it is. Because it's a little bit about committing, right? I'm stepping into the water, I'm committing to risking something in order to achieve something greater, saving the puppy. But what if I told you that this discomfort was a natural phase of doing anything new? So it's not like it's going to last forever. It's that it's a natural phase that we have to go through it. I call it the door of discomfort, which is something that I learned from a course that I took, because everything was uncomfortable. Like everything was a new challenge, and I didn't know how to do it, and I had to research it, and all of these things seem like a lot of trouble, and so we feel uncomfortable. This is a new program I have to learn. Whatever it is, it's just a phase. So if we can keep that in mind, it's that we're just going through a phase of learning, a phase of moving through a natural process of our mind becoming comfortable with something so that we can then reach the goal that we want. And it's completely natural. It's completely natural, and it comes from deep within our mind, the reptilian brain that warned us thousands and thousands of years ago that if we step out of the cave, there might be a saber-toothed tiger waiting to take us away. So if we put it into perspective, what really is the challenge, and is it dangerous? Of course, the learning curve takes in all of that information that you're going to learn if this is a smart thing to do versus this is the thing I have to do to get me where I want to go. And isn't that the point about life? So within that question, I ask you, if you don't pursue your dream, who else is going to lose? What is your gift to the world that you're not going to offer to that one person, like that puppy who's being swept away in a current right now, and you're the only one there that can step into the water and save their life? So think about the bigger picture. Maybe you're the hero, Dawn, and you're about to step into the water, even though it's super uncomfortable, but you know that the end goal is going to save somebody. That's the thing, right? It's not even that it's about us so much. It's about who are we going to help? And how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to go through the learning curve. It's just a phase. Remember when we were little kids and we didn't know the alphabet, but the big people did, and we looked at all these strange shapes. There were straight lines and there were curvy lines, and we didn't really know what a letter was. You know, we'd say A, B, C, but we didn't really know what that was. And same with when little kids count. They go 1, 5, 10, 3, 2, 4. They haven't figured it out yet. And yet they don't think it's uncomfortable. They just think it's a part of the game. So it's in our perspective of how we pursue our ABCs. So pretty soon we started putting those letters together. 2 straight lines with 1 across was an A. We knew what the big people were starting to know, and we started to putting them together. So then somebody asked us, what is a word that starts with J? And you go, J. Job. Job starts with a J, and you go, yes. And what else starts with a J? Well, Jake and just and juggle. And pretty soon you know all kinds of words that you didn't know started with a J. So this is just moving through the discomfort of a learning curve. And it kind of can be exciting. It can be a game that moves us through the door of confusion as we learn to spell words. Then we learn to write the words. Then we learn to write sentences, and we get to read a book. Children pass through these doors of discomfort all the way up. And we were those guys. We were those little kids that were saying, jump. And that's what I'm saying to you, that all of these doors of discomfort are simply lessons, and that maybe we haven't learned them well enough yet, so they still make us feel uncomfortable inside. But in the end, we are Dawn stepping out into the water and saving the life of that puppy. Because if we don't step, what did we achieve? What did we feel like inside when we let our dreams die? What was making us so uncomfortable that we were willing to forget about why we're here? Like, what's making us tick inside? What's filling our heart with passion? And who's going to lose? The puppy is going to drown if somebody doesn't do something. And you might just be that somebody who's standing on the shore and watching that puppy being swept down the flooded town. So, how do we do it? Because the path is always filled with discomfort. There's always something to move through. There's always that call to make. It's like when we talked about the last session. There's always that frog to eat, right? Mark Twain told us, if you gotta eat a frog today, then eat it fast. Eat it for breakfast so that you get it over with. And if there's 2 frogs that have to be done today, then eat the big one first. And I love that because it's uncomfortable. So much in life is uncomfortable, but the more uncomfortable it is, the more satisfaction you're going to have when you get it done. Thank you for the thumbs up. Because at some point it no longer becomes confusing. You become the expert. You've put in your 10,000 hours and you're the guru. But I ask you, are you still resisting? Are you still just sitting in that procrastination zone? Because if you are, I want you to call me. Because there's a process to it. There's a roadmap that leads the way. It's the trail through the forest that comes out into the beautiful meadow. And it's there. And it's there if you want to risk it, if you want to move through that discomfort. Because I tell you, there's one thing I want you to do today. So put up your hand. Put your hand up, because the thing I want you to do today begins with an A. Anybody got the word? The thing I want you to do today begins with an A. And the word is action. Because nothing happens until we step into the water. And sometimes it feels like we're stepping into the water and we're going to drown. And I guarantee you there'll be days like that. But you'll learn to swim. I trust you on that. And if not, I'll throw you a lifeline. I'll tell you right now that there's a process to everything. And it's natural for us to be afraid and to feel uncomfortable when they come up. But it's just a phase. It's just a phase that we go through, and it's part of the learning curve. So today's word is action. Action gets us over discomfort. And if you still feel like you just need a hand, call me. That's what I do. I will lead you where you want to go. I will illuminate your brilliance within your mind to take you towards your dream. So I thank you for tuning in. If you guys would like to, ask me anything, then ask that. Just give me a call, or I'm going to try to put you on. It says I can put you on camera. I don't know. I've never done that before. But here I am. I'm just going to step aside, and I'm going to pick up any answers or questions that you have. So if you would have a question for me, then I would love to hear from you. So I'm just going to step aside, type it into your keyboard, and we'll have a conversation on live on Facebook. Okay, watch the view. Okay, so next time, I would love to have someone join me live, that we could have a live conversation about what your plans are, what you are moving through right now, and if I can illuminate or help coach you through a step-by-step plan, we could do it live. So just leave me a little message and we can organize it, and that would be really cool for other people to see the process, and you'd gain a lot for it. It'll be a free session on me, live on Facebook. So until I meet you guys in person, I know that some of the people that are watching, enjoy your day. Get out there, do something that will just make your mom proud. Okay, and tuning off. So have a great day, guys. Bye.